to our GMA cover story, and I recently met an inspiring young doctor facing a life-changing diagnosis of Lou Gehrig's disease. He's been given 1 year to live, but that has not stopped him from trying to find a cure for ALS to save others.
Rahul Desikan is a scientist in a race against time.
I feel like the work that Rahul is doing is a very big deal.
He's a leader in the research of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, the crippling and fatal motor neuron disease, which kills off nerve cells that make it possible for us to breathe, talk, move, and live.
He's discovering new genes that cause ALS. It will change how we're able to diagnose patients.
His research may also lead to a cure, an even bigger deal to Rahul. Because Rahul himself has ALS, diagnosed just last year. He's been given a year to live. The news, shocking to him and his wife Maya, also a doctor. They're raising 2 boys, ages 2 and 4.
How baffling is it that he got this?
It's baffling that he was studying it and he got it, and that's just ironic.
He had no genetic predisposition. He was in great health, didn't have the markers, and he was quite young.
Yep. So, yeah, for all of those reasons, there was no reason to suspect ALS.
18 months after his diagnosis, he can no longer speak. He can only slightly tilt his head and barely squeeze one hand.
He uses his mouse to focus in on the spot, and then he uses the clicker to actually click it.
He communicates with the help of a computer with a special headset that moves the cursor on the screen.
The text-to-speech device is able to convert the text to speech.
Because of this lengthy process, we submitted some of our questions in advance. Rahul's message is urgent.
I want to get the word out that ALS can happen to anyone. We need to come together as a society and tackle ALS head-on like we have done for heart disease and cancer.
Rahul says his fellow doctors need to rethink their strategy because people with these diseases suffer beyond belief.
I felt like I was being given a death sentence, and there was nothing whatsoever that anyone could do to stop this.
But Rahul isn't wasting one moment. Despite his condition, he works every day, countless hours on his computer, researching, tackling this disease's biggest questions.
Why does it progress slower in people like Stephen Hawking and faster in people like me?
These young scientists from his lab are trying to find those answers. They're meeting at his home, inspired to conquer this disease with and for him.
He combines his genetic studies with strong statistical methods and also imaging to achieve goals that other labs wouldn't think of doing without Rahul at the helm.
The doctors have given you a year. What's your reason to keep going and keep fighting?
It's the hardest thing to get out of bed every morning. My wife and kids give me the courage to fight. I love my work because it makes me feel alive and gives me purpose. I want to really beat ALS, and this keeps me going.
While his work and family keep him going, many times the reality of his situation becomes unbearable.
What is the hardest part in all of this for you?
The loss of the relationship with my sons is the hardest thing, hands down. I just want 1 hour.
How hard is it not to be able to hold your children?
In his stillness, memories are a comfort.
I imagine the monsoons in India, where I grew up, the New England fall, spring in Paris and summer in Central Park. I live them, see them, feel them, and hear them.
And he is constantly thinking.
What is his intuition telling him?
That he's not going to die from this disease.
A fighter spirit.
Getting very good at cutting and pasting.
You are so good. Control C and Control V, right?
And there's still laughter.
I thought that was funny.
I know. I can make my husband laugh still.
He loves family, friends, and food.
You like burritos? Yes.
Yeah.
You can read his every movement, his gestures, his expressions.
I call myself his blink interpreter. We spend a lot of time together, and I definitely think it's brought us closer together.
The young scientists in his lab group lifting him up. His best friend since college moved across the country and helps him all day long.
If you had a word to summarize your friend, what would it be?
He's just a great heart.
In fact, Rahul says there's love all around him, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
We are divine and heaven is right here.
Heaven's right here. This is heaven.
Heaven is right here on earth.
Rahul shared with us what he is thankful for on this Thanksgiving holiday. His incredible wife, Maya, their 2 young boys, his family, his friends at UCSF Medical Center, his colleagues for all of their unconditional support. He says, quote, "They keep me alive every day and their strength is my healer."
It was an incredible story. You said it a couple times during the interview. You had to stop because everybody in the room, including you, was fighting tears.
Yeah, we had to stop rolling. It was actually the first time I've ever conducted an interview where we all had to stop and just take a moment to compose ourselves. Just such a powerful story. And despite this diagnosis, he was diagnosed just a little over a year ago. The work that he's doing is just, he will not be stopped. He's at his computer every day. He's authored over 20 papers since his diagnosis. Wow. He's doing groundbreaking research with ALS as well as Alzheimer's.
So he's really moving the ball forward on the research as he works in this condition.
He is, and you brought up a good point too.
Yeah, do you get the sense that he's learning more, now actually physically feeling the symptoms of this awful disease?
Yeah, he feels almost like he does have an insider's look into what this disease does to people now.
It's really beautiful to see how you told this story, but also how his purpose has given him life.
It certainly has, and that family, how they've come together, it's given them new meaning as well.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.